Here we are.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the EitherOr Podcast, day number 2. This is the podcast where we discuss either serious topics or funny, nerdy, fun-loving, basically good-hearted,
The good stuff in life.
comedic, a lot of good topics. I'm your host, Phil B, and this is co-host Big Pop Paul, and over there is my second co-host, JDG, also known as Phil, Paul, and Josh.
Hey, keep your name out there, bro.
All right, Josh.
That's about to be like a commonplace now. So last week was way more of a serious week. Today is going to be much more lighthearted.
Yeah.
Because like I said, last week was very heavy. So that's kind of the point.
Yeah, suicide.
Essentially, yeah. That really was what we were discussing, and we kind of that's why we want to make it serious and then funny or comedic or whatever.
Easy going.
So that way, everyone for the serious ones, you have a week to recover, and then for the more funny and good stuff, then you don't need a week to recover from that. But yeah.
Random thought. Can we take a poll of who has the better hat between me and Paul?
Oh my
We're
goodness.
not
doing this right now. Why are we doing this, John?
Okay. Go on.
This is off-camera discussion.
Go on.
You're not on camera, so you can't talk about hats.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Anyways, topics for today are going to be kind of nerdy.
Shit.
Paul, your topic?
I want to talk about the new upcoming Switch update. We got the new Switch coming out, Switch Lite, which isn't really, it's like half of the Switch, which is all right. Then you want to talk about,
and then I'm going to talk about Star Wars movies and my very strong opinions on all currently 8 of them, and the 9th one coming out I think on Christmas Day, which makes it a Christmas movie. Let's hope that turns out well.
No, it doesn't. We'll
I think I could be
Mhm.
wrong. But yeah, I just know it comes out in December.
Christmas and Star Wars.
I mean, Die Hard's technically a Christmas movie.
Yeah, the first Die Hard was on Christmas Day.
Was there anything about Christmas on it?
Not at all.
No.
Then it's not a Christmas movie.
It's a
Christmas
movie
on Christmas.
it is a movie on Christmas, which technically makes
It's
it
a
a
Christmas movie.
No.
Oh,
No. Move on.
I was going to get into a heated debate. Oh, shoot.
But anyway, Paul, you can start with your topic.
All right, so the good old Nintendo Switch. You gotta love Nintendo. They've always been pretty good throughout the decades. It's I know the Wii U was a bit meh, but they're starting to get back into it in terms of the Switch. I don't know. For me, it's Switch costs $300, so I haven't felt the need to buy it because I don't know. I mean, it looks great, it has some good stuff for it, but
in my opinion, the Switch is kind of a revolutionary device in my opinion, because the way it's a console that you can play on your TV, but at the same time it's like a handheld thing that you can share with friends. So yeah, I think that's what makes it pretty adaptable.
oh yeah, no, there's no denying it's revolutionary thing. What do you call it? But there's no denying that it's really revolutionary the gaming industry in terms of having both a handheld and a home console within the same system. I think that's pretty cool.
Nintendo's had a lot of good chunk of banger games. They haven't had a lot of a lot of misses in terms of their games.
Oh yeah, no, especially with their first party games too. They always put out bangers with those.
Mm-hmm.
There's no denying that. Especially with Super Mario, Pokemon, people eat that shit up, man.
Yeah.
But I know they recently announced they're going to come out with the Switch Lite, which is essentially it's the Switch, but it's basically only portable mode.
Oh.
So it's you can't connect it to a TV or anything. I mean, but it's they dropped down the price to $150 for it. So I mean, it at least makes it more accessible, but it gets rid of the whole point of the Switch. Switch between home and.
Yeah, you don't really get to do much switching there.
Yeah.
Me and Paul were kind of discussing this earlier because he also mentioned that they were making a Switch Pro, right?
Yeah.
And we were thinking if they make that console, what if it ends up just being another $150, and then you essentially just end up buying the regular the Switch what the Switch would cost
Yeah.
for two different things. Or like if they make, you said they made that 150 and they decide to make that to like 250, 300, then essentially you just bought the Switch for $450.
Yeah.
Instead of just buying the Switch. Personally, I have stopped messing with like Nintendo consoles since the Wii. So my Wii like broke.
Same.
Then again, the Wii had a lot of problems.
Yeah.
When I first started.
There are a lot of problems, but I'll say this: like that Wii Fit trainer, she got it together.
I'd like to say that like the Wii also kind of, I think it also helped with VR. You know, considering like they have motion controls and all that, and so like that was first like motion control console. So like it probably helped a lot in terms of like tracking through like virtual reality headsets like the Vive and stuff like that. Which so I won't knock it down all the way, but because there were already so many problems with it, the motion control was just one good thing and like a nest full of bad.
Yo, weird question though. Wii Sports, did they have Wii Sports rivals?
What do you mean?
Like, I haven't played Kinect Sports because I thought that was another gimmick that probably sucked.
I don't want to talk about that one. Go ahead.
Well, like in Kinect Sports, so I've been told, like if you're playing with friends or something, or maybe even it just generates it itself. I haven't played it myself, but like you have a Kinect Sports rival on your Kinect Sports game. Does Wii Sports have like the same thing?
No, they do not. The biggest rival was Matt.
Oh yeah, Matt. That guy.
He was a custom character made from the game that would wreck your shit in every sport.
Yeah,
you could be the best and he would still wreck your shit.
Oh yeah.
Anybody that has played a Wii before knows about Matt.
Yeah.
His custom character was a bald black dude with a goatee. he would always I remember this. He would always wear a red shirt. His color was always red. And anytime you came up against him in anything, he would always wreck your shit. you would never win anything.
Sounds like Terry Cruz's like Wii Sports avatar.
Honestly, it might be.
Honestly, that's the best description. Dang, he must have that Old Spice power going through his veins. But no, Wii Sports never had that. I think that could have been cool though. But yeah.
Personally, I've never owned Wii at all. It's like I just had like I had I've had DSs for like so long. That's kind of just been like my main Nintendo console. Like I didn't get a GameCube till like high school, honestly.
Well, you didn't get a GameCube till high school?
Yeah.
Bruh. Dude, like you think that I never had one. I never got a GameCube.
You never had a GameCube?
I only had the PlayStation 2 until I got to middle school-ish, like 6th, 7th grade, and then I got a PS3.
Yeah, sure.
By high school, I have Xbox One and PS4 that's downstairs right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't get like a 360 till I was going into high school. So
I think we had a Sega Genesis. I think we had a GameCube. We had a Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
We had the Dad. He had the PS2. All about that Gran Turismo.
Mm-hmm.
Then he might have got a PS3 at some point. Then we got the Xbox 360, which that was my main thing.
Mm-hmm.
So for most of high school, most of middle school. Mm-hmm. Then like we threw that away. We got a Wii somewhere in the middle between Xbox and something.
Oh yeah, how about that? I had that too.
And then there was also because the Wii was just so forgettable. It just like broke one day.
Bro, I swear, like it just like died for me. Like I was playing the game, I turned it off, and the next day it just had trouble turning on and just died. And I was just like,
I don't want to play your blue ass games anyway.
But I forgot. I don't remember what this original Super Mario Bros. Game came on.
Mm-hmm.
It was the one with it wasn't like the 2-bit 1-bit. He had like an actual figure. I had that console, but I only had that game for it. But yeah. But no.
Phil, did you ever have an Atari?
I did not. I did not at all.
I've had an Atari, a 2600. I still got it. It's at like my grandma's house somewhere.
Yeah, so you're officially the lamest. Okay. Moving on.
Wow.
Hey,
That's why your hat's stupid.
hey, your hat's stupid.
My hat's better than
No,
your
it's
hat.
not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It
Give
is.
me a hat.
No, it's not.
Give me for real.
Hey,
No,
fuck it.
no,
This
I'm
hat's not
serious.
worthy of being
No,
on
I'm
camera.
not. I'm not looking to throw it or anything.
Okay, I got
That's
you.
not worthy to be on
Prepare
camera.
yourself for the majesty of this awesome hat.
You see this? This is
Dumb as hell.
this is an emoji.
Oh
hat.
yeah.
Bro.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
giving-
Look at that.
I give it points
Did
for
you-
creativity.
Look at that.
I
Did
give
you watch the
points.
emoji
Oh.
movie, Josh?
I give you points for creativity.
I plead the fifth.
I give you
Yeah, you
points,
better please.
points for creativity, but this is obnoxious to look at.
This hat, I believe, is mildly sexy. And yeah, that's all I have to say about it.
You watched the emoji movie.
Like you actually liked it too.
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
It's Hardy. This
I
motherfucker
plead the
watched
fifth.
the emoji movie and liked it.
You can count it 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. Fifth, y'all. Fifth.
Anyway, so getting back to the
Yeah, I
Switch.
mentioned I plead the fifth.
Getting back to the Switch.
Switch.
So the Switch, like I don't know, personally, like I don't know, like the Switch, they have some like pretty good games. You know, they got Breath of the Wild. Everyone's saying that's a banger. Everyone's enjoyed that. Mario Kart 8, you can't go wrong with Mario Kart. Honestly, that game's pretty awesome. And I don't even want to get started on the Pokemon games, to be honest, because with all like the National Pokedex thing, like they're getting rid of like the National Pokedex pretty much. Because basically, according to like the Pokemon company or whatever, like if there's like, well, we're gonna reach some point to where like we can't have all the Pokemon in the game, so we're just gonna start not having all the Pokemon game now. But there's still gonna be a decent amount of Pokemon in this game, but just not all of it. So I don't know.
I mean, like, I've never really been into. I've always been like a challenge accepted video game player. So it's like Mario Kart, Pokemon, those games, they didn't really latch onto me as much because it's all like there's no competitive element to it. There was no difficulty to it.
Well,
I've always been the opposite. I prefer like just chill PvE games, like stuff like I like a lot of fantasy games. I got Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, which is probably the most competitive game I have. But I usually only play PvE because I suck ass at PvP. But
Hey man, that means you just gotta get good.
dude, I'm just not a fan of PvP period though. But no, granted I think it's fine. I don't mind it. I'm just not a fan. I've never been a fan of PvP in games before. I've always been PvE.
I mean, that's been Nintendo's kind of their niche anyway. They've always been the family friendly video game company. They're the guys. If you're looking for a console you can play with your family, invite some friends, have a party around, the Nintendo Switch, that's your game.
Yeah.
But like if you're trying to like be an actual badass, well,
There's usually PS,
Yeah,
PlayStation, and Xbox.
you want to hop up on the big boy consoles.
I know recently they've tried to like I guess be quote unquote edgy. Like they've had like their few rated M games here and there, like Resident Evil Revelations that like are released on the 3DS of all things.
I'm sorry, I looked at that and it looked like I saw this dude with like white hair. He looked like a vampire. So I thought, oh, is this a Twilight video game?
I think
I'm
it's
gonna
about
see that
Leon,
one.
I think. I think that was Leon.
What else? Yeah, they had Metal Gear Solid on the 3DS too, and then like of course with the Switch they've opened up to like more rated M games like Skyrim, all that mess. But I mean, it still doesn't change the fact that everyone pretty much goes to Nintendo for like the family friendly goodness.
Yeah.
You know?
I know they did put like a Dark Souls game on it for some
Yes,
reason.
they did.
Mm-hmm.
They remastered Dark Souls for the Switch, which is all right. Like that's another thing. It's like a lot of the games that are coming out for the Switch are just like games that we pretty much already own.
Yeah.
And it's like, sure, it's nice to take them on the go, but it's like, how many people actually really want to replay through these again? Especially a game like Dark Souls, where it's like,
You beat that. Well, unless you're like a real die-hard Dark Souls fan, you don't really want to do that shit.
Yeah. Hey.
I mean, unless you're like you see, like I'm coming from Bloodborne. That was when I got into the Souls thing. And it's like I beat everyone with a cane. And it's like, what if I want to go around and beat them with a fat sword instead? No.
Mhm.
Yeah, is that funny to you?
yes,
Paul?
it is. It's very entertaining, Josh. Yeah,
Beating people with a cane?
I mean, yeah, it can be somewhat entertaining sometimes.
Okay then.
All right.
I think Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah,
You're making me uncomfortable.
Let's
You're
move
why are
on.
you making
It's
me
gotten weird.
Not really. But, all right. I wasn't the one who made things awkward, but okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Any more you got for yours?
No, I just have like the only Nintendo console I've recently been playing is just the 2DS XL because it's like because I've had like the original 3DS for like the longest time. And I was like that thing's old as hell, so like I ended up getting the new 2DS like a graduation gift, and it's pretty good honestly. Like it's like it goes for like 150. I think it's pretty worth it, especially like if you never had a 3DS before, that would be like the go-to handheld for it in my opinion. Especially since you get to play like all the 3DS games and all the DS games too. So
I guess my question about that is, okay, I heard Excel and I thought Microsoft. So can you like run Microsoft Excel?
no XL is in it's bigger.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, okay, that's not really excelling. You know, it's not excelling until you can like do equations on it and stuff.
She lame as hell.
Anyway, okay.
Let's move on.
Okay. Hurting my feelings.
But really,
Yeah.
so no, that's for saying I'm lame for having no target. I don't even play the motherfucker anymore. You just call me lame.
Okay.
So
I'll take that.
okay, so now everything's balanced.
Yes.
As all things should be.
Thank you, Thanos.
Stop at the end. Speaking of movies, I am going to talk about Star Wars movies.
That was a great segue, wasn't it?
Yes.
All 8,
Cool.
currently 8, soon to be 9 of them.
Oh, crap, my elbow is in there.
Oh jeez.
Oh,
Oh no.
You dirty man.
Oh man.
Oh no.
But no. But how do I don't know. I don't even know how to start this. Because
Tell me about the one coming out.
yeah, good. That's a good one.
Oh, that's a good start.
So episode 9 is coming out in December. I think it's Christmas time. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. I just know it's coming out in December. And with that, I started like kind of like looking back on all the Star Wars movies and all their great things and their flaws. Ooh. So far, I will say this: I have like three categories of each ones, which is or 2 categories for all 3, which is weird. I have best action and best story, and so far, where I put best action would be the prequels, 1 through 3. Best story would be 4 through 6, and 7 and 8 are kind of in the middle. But I am trying to be a lot more objective with 8 specifically, because 7's kind of a setup, so you can give 7 a break, but definitely 8. I'm trying to be a lot less judgmental.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let my co-hosts give their opinions on it first, because kind of strong opinions.
Well, I guess for me personally, like, grew up watching Star Wars all the time. Like, I remember, like, my uncle, he bootlegged all like the movies. Like, he had like the actual DVDs, but he made copies of the DVDs for me to watch. So like, I basically had all the Star Wars movies bootlegged for me. So like, I just watched those fuckers as like a kid all the time. So like, I don't know. I personally enjoyed everything. Like, I know like the prequel trilogy it's very. I mostly like it just because it's very memeable nowadays. So that's a go-to for that. The original trilogy, can't go wrong with that. I mean, I guess just ignore the part where like you find out like Luke and Leia are actually brother and sister.
Yeah.
Everything else is great.
Ooh, incestuous incest.
Yeah, that was an oopsie on George Lucas's part, I guess.
Did they actually wait? So like, did they actually have a kid or something?
No, they just like kissed at some point.
Oh,
But like they didn't know they were
had no clue.
brother and sister. So I mean, I guess I don't know if you can fault them, but it's like it's just an oopsie on George Lucas's
still
part
weird.
because I don't know. I guess he just wasn't thinking.
To this day, it's still pretty weird.
So I don't know.
At least he didn't go the way of Game of Thrones.
No.
God.
Anyways,
But-
we're not getting off track.
But yeah, so I don't know. I grew up watching the prequel trilogy, so I mean, I know probably if I like watched all these movies again, I'll be like, what the hell am I looking at now? But it was like, I don't know. I enjoy it just because of like the nostalgia factor and all that. So I mean, that's my take on it. The newer movies. I mean, 7 was all right. I mean, 8 was a bit. Like it could have been.
We will get more
Could've
into
been
that
better,
later.
but yeah. I know Phil's got a lot to say on that. So yeah,
We will
I'll
get more
let
into
Josh
that.
talk a little bit, because I'm sure he's been begging to speak.
Oh, yeah.
So.
I have so much to say about Star Wars. Like the fact that I don't know anything about it. So yeah, Star Wars. I basically looked at that and said, nah. But I don't know. The more you guys talk about it, the more it gets interesting. Especially the part about the Luke and Leia thing. Because I want to hear about how that Oedipus complex began or something. Well, it's not really Oedipus complex,
it's
but
not really Oedipus.
Oedipus was mother and son.
Yeah.
This is Alabama shit.
Oh yeah.
Brother and sister.
Yeah.
I guess because I'm blind and dumb and stuff about Star Wars, I guess I'll just like rank them. We're just gonna say 9 is the best because it's the newest.
We haven't even. It hasn't even come out yet.
Has to be the best. It's the newest.
And no, it's 9.
4 is the best because that sounds like it's been the first.
It was the first.
Yeah. Okay. And then right behind that comes 5 and 6. Phil says 1, 2, and 3 are best action, so that means they're not even in that tier list. They're just on their own god level. And then the ones I forgot, 7 and 8. Just to be contrarian, 8 is worse. Oh wait, yeah, we're just gonna keep it worse. You know what? Never mind. Forget being contrarian.
That's not contrarian at all.
Yeah. So just 7, 8, their places. Great. Move on. Let's talk about this 8 thing.
Okay, so like I said, preface. I thought 7 was pretty. I thought 7 was decent. It's like it's a starter. It's a setup.
Setup for the new trilogy.
Spoilers for you, so cover your ears. I didn't like how they killed Han at the end.
Yeah, that
What?
was.
That died?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Han Solo died.
But
Did he die alone?
yeah.
Kind of.
Oh.
Like murdered and like thrown off a cliff. So
Oh.
I mean.
But 8 is the one where I am finding that I have the most problems because, like I said, 1 through 3, they're just action movies. For me, I just kind of, with those 3, I just kind of just turn off the brain, focus on nothing but the action, which tends to be fucking cool.
Yeah.
I never had a problem with that. 4 through 6 is the one where I actually do pay attention. Those have the best story. 7 was kind of 7. I went in blank slate. You know, I was hyped up, and I was like, it's all right. Like I was like, it's great.
7 was essentially just a retelling of episode 4, but just like with the newer characters, pretty much.
Yeah,
it was pretty much the same kind of like plot setup. But I mean, overall, it was pretty good for the most part.
And now we finally come to 8, which was the most recent one that actually came out in theaters. And man, I'm not a fan of 8 at all.
You're not a fan at all?
I did not like 8.
Let's put a number on it. Like 1 through 100. What would you put it at?
I would put it at a solid 5.
A solid 5.
Solid 5. Oh, we.
You get it like a Z.
I didn't. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't. I thought the action could have been better. The action they had wasn't anything to look at.
Dang, you didn't like that part when they swing the lightsaber?
That was like 5 minutes. Like there was only like 2 or 3 fights with lightsabers in the movie.
Yeah.
You know what? For a movie, how long was the movie? Like 2 hours or something?
At max,
at
least 2 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
max
and there's only 5 minutes of lightsaber fighting.
No.
That's a goddamn shame.
Wasn't pretty much the whole plot of it was just like, all right, we need to like find this one guy.
We need to find Luke.
Yeah, we need to find.
So that was
Luke.
That was the plot of the movie. Essentially, like I said, spoilers. They have to find Ray. Ray finds Luke at the end of 7.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, while this is happening, Finn's kind of in a mini coma because he wasn't even out for that long.
Yeah.
He's in like a mini coma because he got fucked up by Kylo Ren, essentially.
Yeah.
Wakes up, which is really weird. He wakes up pretty much at the very beginning of the movie, even though it's implied that he's going to be out for some time. And we have this kind of 2-3 plot thing going on where Rey meets Luke and is trying to train with him. You have Kylo and Rey apparently having like this little force connection, and I didn't pay attention to this one, but it was like the rebel was going against the First Alliance.
Yeah. I just know there was like this whole plot point where they had to like go to like this casino or whatever to find like this one dude
Like that's
to help them, and they didn't end up
four.
helping him.
That's 4 because that was like a side, like a little one-off from the main thing.
Yeah.
Because Finn and I don't even remember her name.
Like the Asian.
I don't know.
I don't remember
her
her name either.
We'll call her Daisy.
Okay.
Finn,
Daisy.
Finn and Daisy just go off and do their own thing.
Yeah.
Wait, can we call her Bubblegum instead?
No.
No.
Don't you dare besmirch that man.
Yeah.
But no, like seriously, Finn and Daisy go off and do their own thing. I think they were trying to take out the First Order on their own, I think. Or like gets like information or something.
Yeah,
So it's like a 2 against a whole army?
Kind of in a way. I just know they had to go to this damn casino to find this guy, which took like a half hour or some shit. And then like they ended up finding the guy, but the guy was like, "Nah, screw that. I'm not helping you guys. I'm gonna side with the Empire and be a little bitch."
I'll give him a pass because he's a thief.
That's true.
Thieves do that. But anyways, Finn and Daisy doing their own thing. Rey finds Luke. And Luke comes off as this bitter-ass old master like fucking Yoda in episode 5. Right? Rey and Kylo having a force connection, which that was the only one that was the only part of the movie I actually did kind of like.
Yeah.
Because they did that in the game. They did that in the Knights of the Old Republic game. But that one, and then the Rebel Alliance like trying to not die while the Rebel forces trying to not die while the First Alliance or the First Order tries to kill them. That's 4 points, right? Only one of them is actually good.
Oh,
that's my ring finger.
So at the same.
This is the Kylo Ren and Rey force bond.
Can I see the middle finger next?
No. That was the only one that was good. Actually, yeah, because this is the one that sucked. This is the one that sucked. Because this was Daisy and Finn doing their own thing, but it made no sense in relation to the movie at all.
It was literally filler within the movie. It's like we gotta meet like a 2-hour time limit, so we're gonna go to a casino.
Which, like, it just wasn't needed. You could have just had Finn in the coma, and then have him like wake up at the end of it or something. Or if you wanted him to be in the movie, have him go with Rey.
It also didn't help that like they switched directors in the middle of this trilogy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they switched director because J.J. Abrams didn't direct episode 7 or 8. So like
isn't he doing none though?
I think so. I think they're bringing him back for 9, so hopefully he can fix all these fuck ups. Because I don't even remember the last director's
Okay,
names.
see, now I'll give 9 benefit of the doubt because I did not know they even switched directors.
They switched directors. That was like the main thing, like with like everyone's right about 8 is like they switched directors in the middle of the trilogy, which made no sense whatsoever. That was just a whole mess in and of itself.
But yeah, no. In terms of which part of the story I hated the most, I hated Finn and Daisy bullshit part because it was filler.
Yeah.
You know, they could have just had Finn like go off with Rey.
Yeah.
And the part I hated second most was Luke coming off as a bitter old man.
Yeah.
When we see in 4 through 6 him going on this journey to become a better Jedi, a better person, we see him do all this. And then in this movie, she finds him, and beginning of the movie, she gives him his lightsaber. He just throws that bitch off the cliff. And that was when I was like, I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that was okay. I thought that was cool. But they
Did he throw it with the Force?
No, he legit took it, looked at it, and threw it over his shoulder and off the cliff.
Oh, that's bad.
But over the course of Rey's time there, we see Luke as Yoda. We don't see him as Luke. We see him as Yoda after like Order 66, which doesn't fit Luke at all because like Luke wasn't at like by episode 6 he was a lot more calm and collected.
It's like, well, I mean, there's also like the backstory thing with like Kylo Ren, where it's like they basically went through a second prequel trilogy where it's like they like were able to like made a bunch of Jedi.
There was
and
a
then,
prophecy where
then-
Kylo would turn evil.
Yeah, Kylo turned evil. It was essentially basically a redo of like the prequel trilogy where it's like, okay, Kylo's evil now. We're gonna slaughter all the Jedi again, and yeah, here we are. And I mean, I guess I can understand why Luke's a little bitter about that.
I can understand,
but it's just
bitterness.
like the way like they portrayed his character now.
Yeah, I can understand him like being upset with himself, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like and it's his fault that this all happened. It's his fault, and he's bitter with himself because it's his fault, right?
Yeah.
But you're bitter at yourself, and I know for a lot of people that also means you're gonna be bitter toward other people.
Yeah.
But they made him god awfully bitter. Like he was nothing but a jackass to Rey almost the entire time. Like by the time he started training her, we basically got so much. I started to dislike him so much. I didn't even care about seeing him train her. I would have rather have seen her train herself.
No.
You know?
And like remember like what's his name? Like Snoke, or the main villain of the whole new trilogy.
I'm sorry about that. That's the last thing that I hated.
I don't know, like, cause that bothered me too. It's like they introduced him, but then like immediately in the second movie they just kill him. They just kill him. It's like
he's fucking
so
dead.
like
they killed him. He's dead. We're not gonna see him again.
It's like I understand we're gonna kill this guy at some point, but in the second movie of this trilogy, like
and what made me mad was like in 7 J.J. Abrams basically did in 7 what he did in 4. Made Snoke like the Emperor.
Yeah, he was essentially the new Emperor.
They made him look extra like badass. They made him seem like this all-powerful force. You only see his face like once or twice, like the Emperor. And then in the second movie, you treat him like he's fucking General Grievous in episode 3.
Honestly.
Where we saw him once or twice in the second episode. And then in the third, or no, we do one better. Jango Fett in episode 2.
Oh my god.
We see him once or twice, and the second time he dies.
Yeah. So.
Like with Jango Fett, I understand because he's not like a Sith or anything.
Yeah, he's not like a big villain. He's just a bounty hunter. But
Snoke
was like.
Snoke was supposed to be big bad.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be like the final boss.
It's like.
And they treated him like he was the first boss in the video game.
Honestly. Like I will give him credit though. Like the entire like fight scene throughout that was really good. If they didn't kill Snoke, like that would have made it even better. Like I don't know, I just think that's kind of BS how they just killed off Snoke in like the second episode in the trilogy.
I can make up my own fight scene for this. You ready for this? They don't kill Snoke, but Kylo still helps out Rey. They have to run away. Snoke is using his force powers from his throne. He's tearing shit apart. Summoning lightning from shit. His force lightning goes all the way down the fucking hallway. They're running, taking down all of these troopers around them. They're narrowly making it out. And as they're about to leave, Kylo's like, nah, fam.
Nah.
And then as they're about to leave together, he's like, nah, fuck that. He throws her, he gets in the ship and leaves, and she gets in another ship and leaves.
Yeah.
You could have had that. And then, you could have had 2 big bads.
Yeah.
And then you could have had... Because I'm thinking in 9, they're going to have Kylo redeem himself. I'm thinking that's what they're probably going to do.
They're probably going to pull a Darth Vader type thing with him where it's like he redeems himself in the last episode.
And so, you could have... In the next one, you could have had Kylo coming to terms with the fact that he's doing all this bad shit. And then realizing this is bad shit.
Yeah.
And then by the end, when Rey has to go against Snoke, he's like... And then he just goes with her.
Yeah.
But no, they ruined that.
No. I mean, I know at least for the previews for episode 9, they plan on bringing some sort of big bad villain. I don't know who it's going to be now. Some people are like, oh, they're bringing back the Emperor, which I don't know how that's going to work.
It is, because it's just in episode 9, it's just laugh at the very end of the trailer, which is weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, even if it is the Emperor, I still don't know how it's going to work though.
They did that. They did that. Like I said, I'm a real Star Wars nerd. They did that in comics where he came back in a clone body and he was younger. But Luke was so much more powerful that he had no trouble taking him out. I'm pretty sure that's how it went. I could be wrong, a little bit wrong, but yeah.
It's like I've bought like a few Star Wars comics here, but I haven't got like bad dealing. Like I've watched like pretty much all the movies, and I watched like the entirety of the Clone Wars series, and then I haven't really watched Rebels at all.
I just watched like more videos on YouTube.
But
yeah, no, that was that made so many people angry.
yeah,
The fact that they killed the big bad in the second episode or the second movie of the trilogy.
yeah,
To bring back an old villain, you could have used that storyline at another time.
yeah. Like if they really wanted to like expand it more, like they could have pulled another prequel trilogy where it's like a prequel before like this one, which I mean, granted that would have been a mess in and of itself, but it's like they could like, oh, the Emperor came back in this series. I don't know.
You could have made the Emperor Snoke.
Yeah.
You could have just made him Snoke.
Yeah.
And that's why he can't move. That's why his face is all fucked up.
Yeah.
That's how he somehow survived the explosion.
Yeah.
And he could just been Snoke. We didn't do that.
It's like nope.
Maybe you could have done that, but they didn't do that.
No.
Anyways, spent too much time on that one.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up. Wait. So, like, which set of trilogies this is?
This is the newest.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Snoke is
right.
the newest one.
Mhm.
The newest, or I'm sorry, the used to be newest Big Bad.
The most recent.
Anyways, Luke and Rey. The entire time we're on, they don't even tell us the planet name. The entire time we're with Luke and Rey, right?
Yeah.
While all this other shit is going on with the Rebels and Finn and Daisy are doing their fuck shit somewhere else. And you can tell I'm very upset about this one.
Phil's getting heated.
Hey, the entire time, like the training doesn't happen until like halfway through the movie, doesn't it? It's like halfway through the movie.
I don't even remember.
I don't
actually.
even-
I just know it happened at some point.
I don't even remember. But no. And we get Luke, who's this bitter ass old Jedi, who is so angry at himself that he's angry at other people too. And he sees Rey with her. She is powerful. Like she is fucking strong. She is a Force user to the core. And you see him like just like not liking this at all. But at the end of the movie, like he doesn't even slowly change his mind. What happens is some sort of like he has these it's so all over the place with this one. He has like these Jedi journals and shit.
Yeah.
And a tree like legit oh god, that was stupid too. A tree lights the shit on fire. Oh, it could have been Yoda.
wait, what?
Essentially, when he first gets there, when he first starts training her, he shows her these Jedi like scrolls and shit.
Sacred text.
A sacred text, essentially. But by the end of the training, she decides to go off on her own. Yoda comes back as Force Ghost. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
A lightning strike hits the tree and burns all the texts. I'm thinking that was probably Yoda that did that.
Yeah.
But Yoda's like, you're not us. This is what we did wrong. You're doing what we did wrong. So why are you doing what we did wrong? Fix this. And so he does. Now this, I will admit, this part of the movie was cool as shit. Luke, I'm all over the place. The Rebel Alliance, through all this bullshit, they get stranded on Yavin, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's
I think
Yavin.
so.
And they look like they're fucked. And then Luke comes in out of nowhere, gives Leia a hug, and goes out and faces Kylo Ren and an AT-ATs.
Oh wait. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That planet they're on, that wasn't Yavin. I didn't mean to interrupt. But I was just
No, you're good. But he goes up, Lone Ranger, Kylo Ren, bunch of AT-ATs. He fights Kylo Ren just to find out that wasn't him. That was like a Force duplicate. And he did that from almost the entire galaxy away.
Whoa.
He did.
Star Wars has shadow clone jutsu.
Essentially, that's what that was. Except it wasn't.
It wasn't physical.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a hologram type thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But that part I thought was cool. because we're seeing more Force tricks that we didn't see before.
Yeah.
I thought that was badass.
Mhm.
That the man has so much power that he was able to make basically a like an intangible copy of himself and send it halfway across the galaxy.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
that's pretty wild.
It's
That's-
definitely a power move.
That was a power move. But it came like you see that he's this powerful too late.
Yeah.
You know, like we're supposed to believe that Luke is this powerful master, which granted he is. He's Anakin's son, for God's sake.
Yeah.
But and he took out he took out Darth Vader, who took out the Emperor.
Mhm.
But we're supposed to believe he's this powerful master, this wise master, this master that has become a Force master to the core. He has believed in the light side, and he knows the dark side isn't inherently evil, right? He used the dark side against Darth Vader. But the entire time we're on that planet with Rey, the entire time, he just comes off as so angry at everything. And it just made me hate the way they did Luke like that. Like he's supposed to be this badass, but he wasn't badass. He was just bitter. He was a bitter ass. That was lame as fuck. But you get my point.
Yeah.
But you get my point.
We're gonna be in a candy ass. Yeah.
Dang. Gosh. But yeah, no, it just yeah. That's I didn't like what they.
And like there's like this whole theory, like you know how like after you did like his whole shadow clone power move jitsu thing, where like he faded away afterwards, but like you're like he might still be alive because like his hand's metal, but like the hand faded away with him, so he might still be alive, which I doubt. It might have just been an oversight from like the director.
That is a good point.
But it's like I don't know, like I don't know. Do you feel like Luke should have died there? I mean, Yoda did die in episode 5, so I mean.
No, he died in 6. No, he died in 6 because.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
But, so I mean, I don't know. I don't know if JJ would actually bring him back for 9 just to like.
He probably
fix
will
him.
come back as a Force ghost.
Maybe. Yeah.
But, yeah, that's all I can see. I don't know.
I just want Ray to ask him, "Yo, where'd your hand go? Your hand was metal. It shouldn't have left."
Like he just does this and his hand's still metal. Like, how the hell is that possible? I thought the Force took living things. It's not living. It's a hand. It's a metal hand. But I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was okay. I didn't mind that so much. It's just like I said, they could have done so much more.
Yeah, they could have done better with his character.
Imagine how badass that would be. If not, he was not only doing just that. He destroys one of the damn tanks.
Oh yeah.
And then that's when Kylo Ren's like, okay, it's time for me to do this myself.
Yeah.
And then they have that fight.
Yeah.
And then Kylo Ren finds out, oh fuck me, that's not him. Wait a minute. And then Luke dies.
Yeah.
I thought that could have been cool.
Yeah.
Like no, actually no, it was still cool because they fired at him. Yeah, they all fired at him.
Yeah.
So no, you know what? No, I don't have a problem with it.
Hmm.
I think it was good. Like I said, I just wish they did more.
Yeah.
Like he does this pole vault across a ravine on the planet, but he could have just jumped all the way over to the other side. They've done that before.
Yeah.
he got a running start. Ray's like, I can't fucking do that. Hey, and then she has to like climb around or something. I don't know. So far, I need to get positives. We have like a minute left, so I'm trying to list as many positives as I can. I like Rey. I think she's a cool character. Not a huge fan of her backstory. I hope they don't backstep on that in the next movie.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with it. I like Rey. I like Finn. I've always liked Finn. I like the main characters. I like the main characters. Kylo could be a little bit better, but I don't mind. I never want to see him without a shirt again. Though.
Ben Swole.
He was legit just a square.
Swole.
Ben Swole.
Love that meme so much.
No, I'm kidding. But,
that's one of the great things from the new Star Wars best thing.
But whenever they did have an action scene, it was solid.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
whenever they did have an action scene, it generally was solid. There were certain parts of the story that I really didn't mind so much. Like I said, I did personally. While I didn't like how they did the training thing with Ray, I liked that was the direction they took. I don't mind Finn going off to do his own thing as long as it makes sense. And in this movie, it didn't make sense. I didn't mind the Rebel fleet getting like ambushed and actually fought.
Yeah.
I didn't mind Leia being a Force user. I just don't like the way she used the Force.
Yeah.
Dang, there was a better way to do that. So, like as you see, as many positives, I just see more negatives, and it's very unfortunate. That's why I'm kind of hoping 9 will be better. I'm really hoping 9 will be better.
JJ to save the day.
Please do.
Save us.
But like a lot of my positives, I like I said, I like the action for the most part. I just wish I wish if the story was gonna be kind of like this, I wish it was like prequels where the action was better. Or there was more action in it, but there wasn't too much action in this one. But yeah, I didn't like their little title name drop. Like Luke was like, "I will not be the last Jedi." Don't do that. Don't do that, movie, man. Or if you're gonna do that, make it so it's not like it's not obvious. Yeah, but no. Yeah, we're at 46 minutes right now, so I think we can I think it's time for us to say adieu.
All right.
Adieu.
So
Wait, hold on. Did I say that right?
you said adieu. You mean adieu? Adieu.
Yeah, adieu.
Thank you, Josh. Very cool.
But yeah, this has been EitherOr Podcast. I have been and am your host, Phil, co-host Josh, Paul, and co-host Josh over there.
Oh, you got the order right.
And we will see you guys next week for another serious topic. Whatever it is, we'll work it out. But yeah, see you guys later.
See ya.
Deuces. This someone got us part.